In today's video, we've got a rehouse to do, new substrate to try out, and we've got a new acrylic enclosure to try out. Let's get into it. Hello, 'tis I, Matt, and welcome back again to the Arachnophiles. I hope you all had a wonderful Xmas Christmas if you celebrated it. If you didn't, I hope you had a good one too and everyone left you alone. Anyway, today, as I say, we have a rehouse and we have a new substrate to try out and we have a new acrylic enclosure to give a whirl as well. So without further ado, let's crack on and see who's getting a new house. This girl right here, which is Gru. This is my partner Charlie's. Tliltocatl albopilosus, formerly Brachypelma albopilosus, and before that, Brachypelma albopilosum. So now Tliltocatl albopilosus. We're going to posh her up a bit. We're going to give her not a bioactive, but a naturalistic environment. So no live plants going in there, but it's going to be a nice mixture of substrates. So we're going to go with the following substrates. We have the Earth Mix Arid from Arcadia as our base substrate. So the bulk of the bottom layer of the substrate is going to be made up of that, which is the more humid side. You still want them to be able to dig into more damp, moist, cool substrate as they would in the wild. That's the whole point of them burrowing, is to escape heat and the harshness of the climate they may live in. Even in the scrubland, we do have harsh winds, harsh temperatures at night and in the day, and of course, harsh sun. So they need to get out into their burrows. So if they do want to dig, they're going to need somewhere cool to dig. So we'll give them that substrate to dig into. We're going to be mixing that with some of the Exo Terra Desert Ochre Sonoran Desert Substrate, which is a clay-based substrate, more sandy, big clumps of clay rocks in it as well, which you can either crumble down or leave in there as part of the natural rubble of the environment. It's a very attractive substrate mix to work with. The raw arid earth mix Arcadia for the bottom substrate, a mix of that and the Exo Terra for the mid-level substrate. Then we're going to sprinkle on a lighter texture top layer of the Exo Terra ochre sand on its own. We're going to make it look as natural as we can based on image research we've done of their natural environment. So let's get into it. All right, first things first, let's get this little lady out. We can sort her home out and pop her in. All right, she's having a little wander about, and that's fine. Would you like to, my darling, just wander into this here box? That might be an idea, eh? You're not up for that. Now what I'm just going to do is pop it over her from behind there. She's going to flick a few hairs at me, which is fine. Get my hand out of the way. It's hard to film this stuff, you know. Alright, if you could just go backwards actually, mate. Just go in here. Yeah. See, she's calm as anything, this one. But I still want you in the box, dear, so come here. Yes, I know. It's not the way I normally do it, but you know what, mate? If it works for you, it works for me. And there she is. So that could have been a lot harder. Could have been a little bit easier, but she's good as gold. Right, that's one problem out of the way. So now she's safe in there. We can tuck her away, and I'm blocking all the light. I'm sorry. There you go. So that is Gru. Lovely fuzzy lady. She's the hobby form, but beautiful. Right, next stage, new house. Right, here's our new home. So we've got this on Amazon for £20, so worth a punt. Let's see how we get on. I put it together earlier, and I'll be honest, it went together really well. The quality seems very good. No nasty squeaks or bends or noises I don't want to hear. Right, so as I say, we're going for a naturalistic setup as I normally go for these guys. We're going to use the Arcadia Arid Earth Mix to go in there neat, as it were, to begin with, as a base substrate. Just going to pour that straight in, not a huge amount, just to cover the bottom layer. It's not amazingly deep. Just enough to definitely cover the bottom, because this is going to act as our base level. So the moistest of the moist you might get in the top few layers of scrubland territory. Just pat that down. So obviously the denser that is, the more humidity it will hold of its own, which is what it should be doing since this is our underground. That makes sense. And then we have this mix, which is the two substrates that I've mixed together. Not 50-50 or anything, it's more like a 70-30 if anything. Slightly less humidity, but still some. If you're wondering about the texture of this mix, it's much like any other substrate, so you can hold it together in a shape, but it'll fall off your hand. We're not going too fancy with this, we're not planting anything, we just want it to be nice. So, with that in mind, we want to bury this. Yes, like that. And then what I'm going to do is bury that. Completely bury it. See how that creates that nice natural looking scene, and we still keep the floor space then, because if they do want to sit on top of the hide, it's covered in substrate, it's not just the top of their hide, it's another piece of land. As we said before, that's free real estate. Now we're not going to be too tight with this, we're going to give her plenty of substrate. I want her to burrow if she wants to. I'm loving this substrate, it makes such a departure from cocoa coir all the time. Make a terrarium as beautiful as you want to make it, whilst meeting the needs of your animal. That's the perfect balance. Now I'm just going to chuck the rest of what I've got in here. I'm going to dig a little divot out there, so that she'll be encouraged to use that as the hive. So we will throw some moss in and around, just in the background, to make it look like this is part of scrubland vegetation area. Not too much, just sprinkle it about a little bit. And I'm not going to wet it. Water dish, I'm going to bury a bit. That's starting to look quite nice. Nothing complicated, like I say. That is a clean water bowl, by the way. It's just a very old water bowl. And there we are. Nothing drastically complicated at all. Just a couple of different options on the substrate front. Mixed them together until we like the texture. And one little final touch. Sprinkle some of this around lightly as it is. And then just mix it around. Just for that extra little touch on the top surface. But she's still got everything in there that she needs to make a burrow that will hold underneath that hide there. Lovely, right. I think it's spider time. Okay, nice and easy. We'll just pop the box pre-loosened on top of the water dish. You're going to have to walk out, mate, because your lid won't come off. So if you could just on your way. Come on. I know you're chill, Gru, but it's kind of not helpful right now, darling. Come on, what are you got? All of your legs, mate. That one too, yep. Thank you. There we go. And she's in. There you are. So she is in. Beautiful. You need to stay in though, sweetheart. Go back in. No. Go back in. That's it. Lovely. Lovely, another happy spider all rehoused and another couple of products tested out and enjoyed. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please do let me know in the comments. And thank you and hello to all our new subscribers. We cracked 100 subs over Christmas and we are now racing past that, nearly at 120. So welcome, keep liking the videos, keep watching, keep commenting, and we'll get a nice little community going. And yeah, onwards and upwards from here. So for now, Happy New Year. See you in 2024 next time on the Arachnophiles. Bye-bye.